Welcome to the flowerschool.com video library. I'm Leanne Kessler, Director of the Floral Design Institute, and today I'm going to share with you a linear design using beautiful bearded iris. Bearded iris grow locally here in the Pacific Northwest. In fact, one of my favorite farms is just down the road a little ways, and that's Shriners, where I bought these. Now, when you purchase them, you want to purchase them tightly closed like this, where the color is just beginning to show. You could even buy them with the color not showing, like this, and they'll still open out. But I like to get a little color so I know what I'm getting. Because you can see, in one day, they begin to open out full and lush. So best to buy them tight so that they open on your time. Then a trick with bearded iris is, since they open so quickly, they also fade quickly. So you can see this one has already faded off. But if you remove it, just pick it off like so, the next one will continue to open, and then the next one, and the next one. So you want to enjoy them when they're open, and as soon as they fade, pick it off so that the energy doesn't go there, and let the new buds continue to open. For my container, I'm going to make one out of bamboo. So I've cut it into 3 different lengths, and I'm going to secure them together and then also bind them together using barked wire. For securing, you glue strips, the larger ones, so I have a greater surface area. For attaching the bind wire, some dashes so that that will hold that secure around. So I'm just taking the strips, one on each vessel. And I'm leaving them with the white on the back side till I get them all together where I want them, because I don't want them to stick before I'm ready. Double checking how they line up, making sure it'll be adhesive to each other. Okay. Excellent. So now I just pull them apart a little bit, pull off the tabs, and then anchor them all together, nice and snug. Give me a little twist to get them to adhere tightly. There we go. Because you never know which portion is going to stick, so you just kind of give it a tug. There we go. Then going back with the dashes. And then lastly, the bind wire, wrapping it around until it's all secure. Some of the segments are very, very tall, so I packed in little bits of styrofoam to make sure and give myself a nice false bottom. Maybe a little bit in this one. On there. Then using a plastic bag as a liner, setting it in. I'll cut it down later. And then I can go ahead and add foam, scoring the edges so that it'll go in nicely. Setting it in place. And then once you have it as deep as it can go, which I think I'm going to make that one a little deeper by scoring a bit more, so I get some good insertion depth. I don't want it to be too top heavy. There we go. Then scoring those edges down. You don't want it to be quite so full. And then going back and cutting your bag. That way it'll be easy to conceal with foliage as we design. Now the fun begins, adding in the iris, thinking about the fact that they're going to open and where they're going to be. Now this one is going to fade fairly quickly, but it's beautiful at the moment, and it's going to be tall above camera level at the moment. but I can tell you it's gorgeous. Then bringing in another, letting it come down a little lower. And then lowest yet. Now this time I could even use just the bud, placing it in, and then come back and add the stem with the buds on it so that I get both. Just kind of sneaking it in there. Good insertion, there we go. Then going back with yet another. This time again, cutting it apart. So I have pieces and staggering them so that as this bloom fades, the next will open and still look beautiful. Iris become an interactive bloom because they open, they fade, you have to pick them off. So I want to add something that's just long-lasting and stable to the design so it will look beautiful no matter what. That's where the roses come in, and keeping them low, tucking them in, creating accent areas, anchoring visually the iris, adding that bright yellow. And then billy balls also, very long lasting. So those can add in a little bit of excitement, some height to the design that's going to last even as the blooms fade. The last step is to add foliages to totally conceal the mechanics. It can be simple, like a Gaelic sleeve, tucked in low, draping over the plastic, making sure that that's all hidden. You could have a little bit of movement. Maybe some Italian ruscus. Coming out to the side, maybe down low, creating horizontal lines. Maybe something a little graceful, like lily grass. Coming out from the side, and then using just a tiny dab of cold glue, the Oasis Floral Adhesive, determining where it fits. Maybe you want it right about here. So it kind of just glues directly to the stem, locks it into place, figuring out another one, maybe down a little bit lower, and again determining where it fits, tiny bit of glue, and then locking it in place. I love designing with bearded iris. They have such a short season, so it's one of those things you snap and grab them the minute you see them. Now, a hint when you work with them, this linear fashion is the way they look best. They don't do well at a side angle, so always think parallel lines when you work with them, just as they would grow in the garden. For more creative inspiration, you can find it on the website, flowerschool.com. If you've got questions, you can reach me there or by telephone at 503-223-8089. And I'd love to see what you create. Gather up your spring and summer flowers and create a design. Post it on social media, #Floral Design Institute, so we all can see. Or send it to my personal email, leanne@floraldesigninstitute.com, because yes, I do love to see what you create as you do something you love.